Welcome to New Fragrance Review. Today, we're gonna go through the top 20 fragrances for men in Fragrantica and then place them in order from best to worst. So, I'm on Fragrantica here, and I've just chosen like the most popular male fragrance. I haven't put the unisex or the female fragrance. So here's the 20. The most popular is Le Male Elixir, which makes sense because it's a really new fragrance. It was released this year. I would say personally it seems to be the best designer released of the year, at least the one I tried. I haven't tried them all, but those I tried, I would say it's this one. Then Le Male, Le Parfum, Y, Eau de Parfum, Y is Y by Yves Saint Laurent. Le Beau, Le Parfum, Dior Homme Intense 2011. So I would say it's I'm not sure if it's new or the older version. Stronger With You Intensely. And there's Eros, the original Eau de Toilette. Bleu, they call it the Versace pour Homme there. Spicebomb Extreme, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, Club de Nuit Intense, Jazz Club, Sauvage, the original Eau de Toilette, Sauvage Elixir, 9 p.m., Aventus, Eros Flame, Ultramale, Hawas, and Explorer. So those are by order 20 most popular. I would say some of them make sense. And Le Male Elixir is really wonderful. Le Parfum, it's good, but it was not the best release. It was more of a generic way of making the original. I would say every other main Le Male was better. Y was really a bad fragrance. Le Beau Le Parfum is nice. Y is not like bad. It's just super boring. Le Beau Le Parfum is nice. I would say Le Beau is a nice line from Jean-Paul Gaultier. It's mostly sweet fragrance, but it's good. Stronger With You, I would say it's not super good, but it's good. Dior Homme Intense is a really nice fragrance and makes sense that it's there. Eros is a really nice fragrance. I really enjoy it. It's not the best of the line. It reminds me a lot of Ultramale, which is already on the line. I would say it's probably better than Ultramale, though. Ultramale, I have it right on. That's a bit boring. Dylan Blue is probably one of the worst fragrances I ever smelled. It's so boring and it feels like two fragrances that doesn't have anything to do with each other in the opening and in the ending. I would say at least it has some kind of variation into it, but it's not super nice. Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum is actually the one I think is the worst of the line. Lasts like 30 minutes on my skin. It's really horrible. It's gonna be the worst on the list most likely. Spicebomb Extreme is nice. I would say it goes in the same category of Stronger With You and in terms of how nice it is. Club de Nuit Intense is a nice fragrance. It gets a lot of hate, but it doesn't deserve its hate at all. It's good. Yeah, like there's a lot of lemon in the fragrance, but if you don't like lemon, of course, it's bad, but it's not so bad. It's just at the opening and it's all right. 9 p.m. Sadly, I've not really tried it, but I think it's kind of clone of Le Male. So I'm gonna put it somewhere in the list, but I never really tried it. Jazz Club, really nice scent. It's surprising that it's there, especially there are other fragrances that seems to be more popular by Maison Martin Margiela, like By the Fireplace, for example. But Jazz Club is a nice scent. Sauvage, I used to dislike Sauvage, but I would say that the more I smell it, the more like I'm getting used to it, and on me, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. But every time I smell it on someone else, it seems to be a nice fragrance that works. You know, sometimes fragrance is really personal, both for your nose that smell it, but also your skin, how it reacts to the fragrance. So I'm not gonna be so harsh with Sauvage, even though like most videos I've been talking about Sauvage, I said it's a bad fragrance. It's actually not really a bad fragrance. It's just not for me. Sauvage Elixir, I would say it's the same. Sauvage Elixir is way overrated. People love it, but it's good. It's overpriced. It's a nice fragrance, but it's not crazy. I heard people saying that it smells like Dracar Noir, but it's not at all the same. Maybe some people I could accept that the way both fragrances interact on their skin will make it they look alike, but if you smell it on paper, nothing to do with each other. Aventus, having Club de Nuit Intense and Aventus on the same list, oh, that's so great. I'm gonna be able to put them in an order that will make people mad no matter what I do. But Aventus is a nice fragrance. It's funny, people say Aventus is a really bad fragrance sometimes because it doesn't project, it's not powerful or anything, and they will say Club de Nuit Intensement really famously, really often. They will say it's better than Aventus. Sometimes they will go with something a bit more original, like what is it? It's Pineapple Vintage that makes also clone of Aventus. I mean, the whole line of fragrance is only clone of Aventus. Aventus actually is a summer fragrance. It's made to be weak because in summer it projects more. It's gonna last for a less longer time because it's notes that are made to not last so long. It's a nice, fresh summer fragrance, really, really unique in its style, and people want to use it as an everyday fragrance, like every year, like year-long fragrance. And typically, that's why people give hate on Aventus. But Aventus is a great scent, and Club de Nuit Intensement also. But Aventus is a nice fragrance, even though it's really expensive. Eros Flame, a really great scent. It reminds me a lot of L'Homme Idéal Cologne that a lot of people loved, and it's now discontinued. I would say it's sweeter, it's not as nice and everything than L'Homme Idéal Cologne, but it has a little something, that little like creamy, orangey or citrusy, I should say, because one is orangey, the other is grapefruit. It has the same kind of little creaminess. It's really a nice fragrance. Eros Flame is definitely the best Eros fragrance. All the flanker, that's the best one. Now there's a new one that's coming. Maybe it was even released at the time I'm talking. I haven't tried the new one because, well, it's not released at the moment I'm doing the video. But maybe the new one's gonna be nice. Maybe it's gonna be nicer. But from that time on, where there's only one red bottle and a bunch of blue bottles, red bottle win. Ultramar, as I said, it's really similar to Eros. I would say the ending of Ultramar gets really boring. It's just a bunch of amber, and it really destroyed the whole line, the whole fragrance, how it is. The opening is really nice, but the ending is so boring. It's just crazy. I haven't had the chance to try it, but it's a cologne of Invictus, so we'll treat it as Invictus. Invictus is a nice fragrance. It's a sweet fragrance. It's not my type, but it's a nice fragrance. And finally, Explorer. Explorer is really similar to Aventus. It's not a clone. It's really inspired by, but it's not a clone. I would say might be a good replacement for Aventus for people that want something all year round. It doesn't have like the punch of Club de Nuit Intensement, but it doesn't have either like the weakness of Aventus. So now I'm gonna go with my list. Which one I think is the best up to the last. Best one for me is Club de Nuit Intensement, and I know a lot of people will hate it. Club de Nuit Intensement is a really great winter fragrance. It's bright in a cold and dark winter. I live in Canada, so it's nice to have something like powerful, nice, and like special in winter. Now, you might not think that Club de Nuit Intensement is special, but I think it's the best. In second place, it will be Aventus. I think Aventus have a lot of hate, even though it have a lot of love. And I like that it's a nice summer fragrance, a bit expensive, better than Explorer in my eyes. Then in third place, it's Explorer. That whole DNA, I really enjoy it. I think Club de Nuit Intensement, why it's in first place before Aventus is because it's cheap, and Aventus it's expensive. And even though Explorer also is cheap, Explorer is an all-year-round fragrance, and I don't like all-year-round fragrance. I like a fragrance to be specific, to a nice, like to work really well. I want an amazing fragrance for when I can wear it, and I want it to be super bad for when I can't wear it. I don't want an okay fragrance that's kind of work for every occasion, but it's really not good at anything. I want great fragrance, it's one thing. And I think Explorer is trying to be good, but it's not as great as Club de Nuit Intensement. It's not as great as Aventus. It's just good at what it's doing, but still that DNA is really nice, really great. Jazz Club are really nice. I wouldn't say it's like super unique fragrance, but it's like unique in its way. And I think it really deserves its place there. Then it's Le Male Elixir, and I'm even surprising myself putting it this high, but it was really a great fragrance. It's a great way of interpreting the Le Male. It's a really nice flanker. It's like in the last couple years, it seems like perfumery just like fell into an abyss of mediocrity, and this fragrance seemed to want to get out of this. They are trying something. It's still a sweet fragrance, but it seems they're trying to do something different, something nice. Then I would put Eros Flame, which is also a great fragrance, the best of the Eros line. It's a nice fragrance, but it's a bit harder to wear. It really is a clubbing fragrance. It's not something I will tend to wear. Also, even if I like it, it's not something I would see me wearing anyway. Then Dior Homme Intense, other great fragrance. I think it's not as good as the other ones. It's more or less an everyday fragrance now. It used to be a bit more good, but the Homme Intense, still a great fragrance. It's just not as awesome it used to be. Then it's Sauvage Eau de Toilette, and I think it's the best Sauvage, better than the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum also is horrible, like for Bleu de Chanel, and the Parfum is alright, but I would say the Eau de Toilette is the best, and it's a nice fragrance. It works well on others, as I said. When someone have that fragrance, it seems to smell good on them. For some reason, it doesn't on me, and it seems like too generic on me. It's not quite my vibe, but works on others. Then I would put Hawas. As I said, I rated it as if it's a really true clone of Invictus Aqua, but like as an Invictus clone, it represents the whole Invictus family. I would say it's a nice fragrance for a younger guy. It's really awesome. That old Invictus line is great. It has a bit more life, even though it's still kind of generic, but it have more life than most fragrance, especially fragrance in the Paco Rabanne company. Then I would put Sauvage Elixir, way overrated. It's too expensive. It's not a nice fragrance so much, but still it's not bad either. So it's really by the smell that I'm putting it. I would say it's not the worst Sauvage. The worst is the Eau de Parfum, but it will be like the second worst Sauvage in my eyes. Then I'm putting Le Beau, Le Parfum, a really nice coconut-based fragrance. It's nice. It's nothing special. I think at this point we're more into the like not as good fragrance in the top 20. I'm putting it here because I don't think it deserves to be too low either. It's somewhat unique, if we can say it like that, within the ideas of fragrance that came up in these years. Then I'm putting Spicebomb Extreme. I think it's a bit overplayed, that little sweet spicy DNA. Then I'm putting Stronger With You Intensely, and again, it's a sweet. It's a bit different than most fragrance, but also in a way it's the same sweet fragrance as all the others. Then I'm putting Ultramal, which is probably the worst Eros and Le Male fragrance in all the line. I used to like it because I was smelling it only on paper. I was thinking it's great. I got a bottle, it was cheap, gave it away because I got tired of it. The ending is so bad. It's just amber and it's just boring. Then I'm putting Dylan Blue. Now, Dylan Blue, as I said, there's like the opening is kind of nice, but it's not super nice, and ending is really boring. I don't think it's a really great fragrance, but the last two are just worst. At least it has the idea that it tried to tell a story. It's trying to be aquatic. It's trying to be like mass appealing. At the same time, it's trying. It's not succeeding, but at least it's trying. And if we go with the one after, Y, Eau de Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent, that fragrance is not even trying. It's just like plain, like people love those things, so let's put them together and then we're gonna make sales. Bottle is not nice. It doesn't look like anything interesting. The fragrance is forgettable. It's really a boring fragrance. I think they really messed up, but they wanted to be in the mass appealing family type of fragrance, so they make that. And lastly, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Now I'm harsh with Bleu de Chanel. Even though it has a really big impact in the fragrance world, the Eau de Parfum would not have been that harsh with it, but the Eau de Toilette would have been higher in the list. But it's the Eau de Parfum, which is the worst of the line, so it doesn't deserve to be really high. It lasts only 30 minutes. You don't have anything for your money on that fragrance. It doesn't even deserve to be in that top 20. It's just because it was there. That's really a bad fragrance. Now, not the whole Bleu de Chanel line, specifically the Eau de Parfum. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If it's the case, like and share. If you have different opinion on all those fragrances, put it in the comment. So thanks for watching and see you soon.